The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who is the last and final messenger of Allah, didn't have several wives or women. Whenever people do research on the messenger of Allah, they quickly stumble across rumors and allegations of polygamy and infidelity. This is by design in order to manipulate the public opinion. Messenger Elijah Muhammad is known for teaching high morals, and he was successful in reforming masses of mentally dead black people in the hells of North America, influencing every thinking black man. He also was and still is considered the #1 internal enemy of the United States. We have many people who are talking about the messenger. We also have many hypocrites, including Louis Farrakhan, who is talking about the messenger. Mr. Farrakhan has been playing with Islam ever since he became a member of the Nation of Islam. He is constantly going against the teachings of the messenger. And since he has been playing with Islam, maybe there is a chance that he was also playing with the so-called table talk recordings. We cannot trust any material that was released during the past few decades, because nowadays you can easily manipulate material. Today we have AI voice clone, and you can easily edit audio files. So if you edit or delete one single word or even a whole sentence from an actual recording, the whole context and meaning could change. This is why we don't accept any so-called table talks as authentic proof, but we are going by actual sources. Messenger Elijah Muhammad stated, quote, "A true follower of the messenger believes as the messenger believes, but a hypocrite pretends he believes, but is not at all a believer. There are those who claim they are believers, but are sympathizers of the hypocrites. Those are the ones who will never say anything one way or the other, fearing that they will show their sympathy for the hypocrite. Such ones are warned in the Holy Quran." End quote.
I want you to see women who are not cheap women, who are not low-life women.
Filbert X, who is the brother of Malcolm Little, certainly disagrees.
My brother Malcolm, angered by the little misfortune of being suspended for speaking out of turn and against instruction, now resorts to slander, slurs, and intimidations of Mr. Muhammad's family, and the Muslim followers of Mr. Muhammad, because my brother Malcolm, greatly angered over his being temporarily silenced for 90 days, now resorts to falsely charging Mr. Muhammad's family and the officials of our headquarters and seeking his ouster, because all of the Muslims know he defected and now speaks falsely about personal affairs of the Muslims, Mr. Muhammad and any Muslim of influence, because my brother Malcolm will do anything and say anything to gain mention and his picture in news coverage, because my brother Malcolm has always prided himself on being a great user of people, especially women. Malcolm now seeks to prevail upon women who unfortunately were weak and went contrary to Islam. And because I have learned as a last resort, he wants to use these women who have been dismissed from our group, and in an effort to accuse and smear any Muslim of influence in our group of misconduct, I take this opportunity to prevail upon you and beseech your media to appraise or caution or warn those who may be taken in by my brother Malcolm's desire to promote his own selfish end to maintain his public image.
Now these are honorable women. These are not no cheap women. These are wise women who produce wise children for a nation. Oh, Malcolm, if you could be here today. If Malcolm were here today, I believe Malcolm would be standing with his brother, with me.
Louis Farrakhan has been writing in the Muhammad Speaks newspaper, quote, Just as Mosalma went around getting next to the women he once had the strength to use for sweethearts, Malcolm has done the same with Lucille Rosary and Evelyn Williams. He would visit Chicago several days in advance of making an appearance there, in order to call, converse, and loll around with Evelyn Williams, planning Mohammed's overthrow. He tried to make her his special agent in getting other sisters to aid her and Lucille. Malcolm made several calls to other sisters, whom he thought were weak enough to side with him, but without avail. He writes from Mecca and sends greetings and messages from Egypt and other places to Muslim women in the mosque, whom he thinks are weak with Muhammad and his leadership. He tries to use them, but most of them are not so weak, since the manifestation of Allah's backing of Muhammad's mission, that they will agree to cast themselves down from the respect of the Muslims and Messenger Muhammad by following such an open and defeated hypocrite as Malcolm. End quote. Minister Isaiah Karim wrote, quote, "And those two prostitutes who accused the messenger of getting babies should hang their heads in shame for the rest of their lives for putting out such lies on the honorable Elijah Muhammad. Here the messenger has been ill for the last 2 or 3 years, sometimes too weak to get out of bed, and yet they accuse him." Article by Bernstein Mohammed. Quote, "Naturally, the first thing such false leaders would do is strike out at his morals. They entice weak women to falsely accuse the messenger of fathering their children. They know that while they worked for the messenger, he was a man of the highest morals and the true messenger of God. They have stood before thousands and called him the honorable Elijah Muhammad, the messenger of Allah, one they know deserves the highest respect and honor." The Star Ledger, September 29, 1964. Quote, "On July 2, two of his, meaning Messenger Elijah Muhammad's, former secretaries filed paternity suits against him in Los Angeles County Superior Court. The court was asked to find that 3 young children born to one of the secretaries and one born to the other were fathered by Muhammad. He, Messenger Elijah Muhammad, denied the charges, called the women hypocrites, and said they were former sweethearts of another black Muslim leader." End quote. The Dayton Daily News reported, quote, "Two top officials of the Black Muslim movement tonight denied that their leader Elijah Muhammad was involved in 2 paternity suits filed yesterday. They blamed indirectly Muhammad's fallen-away secretary Malcolm X for the filing of the suits. In a statement issued by Muslim National Captain Raymond Sharif and National Secretary John Ali, the 67-year-old Muhammad said the charges filed yesterday in a Los Angeles court were false. The secretaries are Lucille Rosary and Evelyn Williams, Negro women in their 20s, and secretaries of the Nation of Islam. Even the newspaper right here admits that these women were not teenagers as claimed by Malcolm X." And the article further reads, "Today, Ali and Sharif said the 2 women were former sweethearts of Malcolm. They blamed Malcolm for the suits, saying it was an attempt to prevent Messenger Muhammad from visiting Los Angeles Mosque on August 9. End quote. Five Muslim women rep suits against leader. Quote, 5 black Muslim women called a press conference Saturday to denounce 2 former members of the sect who have filed paternity suits against Muslim leader Elijah Muhammad. The 67-year-old Muslim leader and many of his top followers, including heavyweight champion Cassius Clay, are here for a 2 p.m. rally today at Olympic Auditorium. Clay is known to Muslims as Muhammad Ali. The Superior Court suits filed last month by 2 of Elijah Muhammad's former secretaries accuse the Muslim leader of fathering 1 child and also fathering 2 children and a third that is expected by the other plaintiff. The 5 Muslim women, all with their heads covered, said the suits are an attempt to further the cause of Malcolm X, former second-in-command of the Muslims, who defected and formed a new group. 3 of the women are secretaries to Muhammad: Navana Pasha, Odessa Bey, and Bernique Kashmir. I have never found the messenger of Allah to be other than a righteous man, Miss Bey said. Also appearing at the Biltmore press conference were Dolores Jordan, identified as the widow of Ronald T. Stokes, a Muslim who was killed here in a 1962 riot between police and members of the sect, and Gladys Shabazz, a Muslim for 12 years. John Ali, secretary of the Muslim movement, said the women who filed the paternity suits are in no danger from Muslim members, but, quote, the wrath of God is upon them, end quote. Turning to politics, Ali said, the Muslims don't favor either Goldwater or President Johnson for the presidency. We vote for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he said. Ali warned that no weapons will be permitted in the Olympic during the Muslim meeting. Quote, we don't permit anyone in our meetings with weapons, police or anyone else. It's a religious meeting. Only the devil needs weapons, end quote. The Detroit Free Press, quote, the Muslim leader, meaning Messenger Elijah Muhammad, had 6 sons and 2 daughters who assisted him in his work. 2 of the sons defected in the mid-1960s, but later returned to the movement. Even the mainstream media didn't accuse Messenger Muhammad of fathering other children. The Daily Journal reported, quote, Muhammad, a widower, had 2 sons and 2 daughters. Now they made a mistake in the number right here. It actually should read had 6 sons and 2 daughters. But the meaning is still the same, that he did not father any other children.
As I told Brother Benjamin just a while ago, he's been knowing me for ever since 35.
Right.
I didn't get no letter in the office that he knew me.
Right.
See, this is the thing that's right. He knows if any man know my moral character, that man and his wife know.
Right.
Because I was a young man.
Right.
In those days, he used to see women trying to get after me. He used to see me get after them and make them better.
Right.
Never would fall for them, that kind of stuff. All right? For a long time, 7 years up and down that coastline. Right? My wife used to come and visit me sometime at his house. I couldn't come out here and visit her because they would kill me in those days. All right. Now the enemy that was after me in those days, he's dead. I told him that when he died, he said, you can go back, son. Then I will be with you. And so he's dead. Now, this is the thing. When we sell a lot and don't follow it up, that don't go for nothing. That's the Holy One plainly teaches us. Mere belief counts for nothing unless carried into practice. If one of these captains here said, I will take my fruit and I will defend this temple to the last drop of blood in it. But if we never see him even try to convince someone trying to scandalize the temple that you are wrong, brother. This is the truth. He never speaks up then. Well, how could we expect him to go out there and spill some blood? No. This thing. So if you're going to stand on the rostrum and preach to the people, brother minister, that Elijah is the messenger of Allah, and a man over there starts throwing mud in his face, and you sit there and look at him, I wait and see if he's going to wipe it out. If he don't wipe it out, then I know the mud is due him. Maybe I'm wrong myself. This is the kind of thought that you start entertaining. I know what you start thinking. Oh, certainly. But whenever I see that someone's slinging mud in your face, and I know you have done a lot of good around here, what right they have to say that that man is not a good carpenter? When he builds this house, he built a good house here. And now they are talking about he's no carpenter. I'm going to go and tell him. If I ever take a hammer and knock one in the head, I'm going to tell him that man is a good carpenter. And I defy you to disprove it. But this is the fact. But if you don't back me up when I'm tongue-lashed, how could I expect you to back me up if I'm shot at, or cut at?